Yeah, so like I was saying, is in verse 10 dealing with spiritual alms, right? Meaning giving to the poor. And who are the poor? Is the elect, you know? We're poor, but we become rich as we wax strongly in the truth, you know, meaning grow in the truth. Um, let me see. Verse 11, no laugh no man to scorn in bitterness of his soul, for there is one which humbleth and exalteth, you know. So that's a wicked thing to do, to laugh at somebody who's fallen. You know, you don't need to do all that. You know, Yahweh can humble you. You know, if you do something like that, you know he may turn around and humble you in the near future. Verse 12, devise not a lie against thy brother, neither do the like to thy friend. Use not to make any manner of lie, for the custom thereof is not good. All right, so just avoid lying, and, altogether. 14, use not many words in a multitude of elders, and make not much babbling when thou prayest. So when you pray, hey, if you're doing it in Hebrew, you really can't babble because we're still coming in the remembrance of the language of Hebrew. So, maybe you're just better off at this point just praying in Hebrew since you don't know a lot of Hebrew and you're not going to babble. But when you go on and on and on, or when you hear those people that pray and they want to, let themselves be known that they're spiritual and their prayer lasts like 5 minutes, and everybody's opening their eyes looking at them like, when's this guy going to stop? You don't want to be like that. You don't want to be that guy. And use not many words in a multitude of elders. Do you think that if any of the members of GMS Denver were in the presence of the elders, that we would sit there and be giving our vain opinions, or trying to give our breakdowns? No, hell no. We would shut the fuck up and we would let the elders do most of the talking. The only thing we would do is respond to them. What do we have to offer the elders? What can we teach the elders? It's not the way it works. There's order. Verse 15, hate not laborious work, neither husbandry, which is the Most High hath ordained. So, it's funny because just the way the Spirit works, just the other day, because I just got a new gig, I got a new gig, and it's got some labor to it, and I was thinking about this verse, and I was meditating on this verse while I was working, and I wasn't even sure where it was, and then here I am today, and there it is. That's how the Spirit works. And why do we have to labor? It's because of Genesis, what Adam and Eve, eating off of the forbidden tree. Let's go get that real quick. This is right after Adam and Eve basically ate off the tree, the forbidden tree, which really was, that wicked spirit of Satan and the serpent, which is the so-called white man now through the regeneration. But the trees deal with people, So it's saying that's the tree that, basically that Eve, she took on those doctrines of that wicked spirit, when she was just supposed to be a woman, be quiet, follow her husband. But no, she went out and, did what she did. And the parable says that she ate off the tree, Verse 17, Genesis 3:17. And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it, cursed is thee ground for thy sake. In sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Thorns and thistles shall it bring forth to thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground, for out of it wast thou taken, for dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return. You see? So because of the sin, now all of a sudden, Adam, had to become a laborious worker, So earth was not in harmony with him anymore, at that point, He had to work the land, And then we're going to go to just to prove that the trees are actually dealing with men, people, not a real tree. It was literally that wicked spirit of Satan, which would eventually regenerate into Esau, Edom, the Edomites, in Genesis 25:25. But let me get Ezekiel 31:9. It says, I have made him fair by the multitude of his branches. Let me see. Oh yeah, this is talking about Adam, all right? Let me see. The Assyrian is actually dealing with Adam. So let's read it. Verse 31 and 3 will start. Behold, the Assyrian was a cedar in Lebanon with fair branches and with a shadowing shroud and of a high stature, and his top was among thick boughs. All right, he was the highest stature out of all the different nations because he was he was Adam, who would eventually become, the beginning, God's, the children of God. The sons of Adam were the children of God, of Yahweh. 4. The waters made him great and deep. The deep set him up on high, with her rivers running round about his plants, and sent out her little rivers unto all the trees of the field. Therefore his height was exalted above all the trees of the field. His boughs were multiplied, and his branches became long, because of the multitude of waters when he shot forth. All the fowls of heaven made their nests in his boughs, and under his branches did all the beasts of the field bring forth their young, and under his shadow dwell all great nations. All right, because Adam was the, children of God, Thus he was fair in his greatness, in the length of his branches, for his root was by great waters. The cedars in the garden of Yahweh could not hide him. The fir trees were not like his boughs, and the chestnut trees were not like his branches, nor any tree in the garden of Yahweh was like unto him in his beauty. We're dealing with, Adam, the sons of God. Verse 9, I have made him fair by the multitude of his branches, so that all of the trees of Eden that were in the garden of Yahweh envied him. You see? So a tree can't envy. All right, this is showing you that these other nations envied Adam, okay? Because he was, he was one of the sons of God, all right? He was the chosen, So let's go back to Ecclesiasticus. Chapter 7. I'm at 16. It says, number not thyself among the multitude of sinners, but remember that wrath will not tarry long. You see, in the men of this truth, we don't have to count ourselves among the multitude of the sinners, because there's going to be a redeemed who is going to be the elect, all right? And the 1/3. Verse 17, humble thy soul greatly, for the vengeance of the ungodly is fire and worms, all right? Nuclear missiles and death, That's what fire and worms is. 18, change not a friend for any good by no means, neither a faithful brother for the gold of Ophir. Showing you the importance of the brethren, Because the gold of Ophir was, precious, but not as precious as the brethren, especially of the hopeful elect. 19. Forgo not a wise and good woman, for her grace is above gold. All right, so you get a wise woman, that's better than gold also. Whereas thy servant worketh truly, entreat him not evil, nor the hireling that bestoweth himself wholly for thee. Let thy soul love a good servant, and defraud him not of liberty. Hast thou cattle? Have an eye to them, and if they be for thy profit, keep them with thee. Hast thou children? Instruct them, and bow down their neck from their youth, meaning teach them this truth, And see, that's what proves you that the word children means sons, because first it says in 23, hast thou children, meaning sons, instruct them. Hast thou daughters, is 24, have a care of their body, and show not thyself cheerful toward them. You see? Marry thy daughter, and so shalt thou have performed a weighty matter, but give her to a man of understanding, meaning it's a beautiful thing to offer a daughter to, an elect, someone with understanding of this truth. You don't want your daughter dating a no damn heathen, You don't want your daughter, set up to be killed by a missile because she's in a Catholicism, worshiping, Christianity, modern Christianity, teach her this truth. Hast thou a wife after thy mind? Forsake her not, but give not thyself over to a light woman. Don't lose your mind on behalf of a woman, because many men fall to the because they lose themselves over a woman, Honor thy father with thy whole mind, and forget not thy sorrows of thy mother. You see? Basically going back to, the commandments. Verse 28, remember that thou wast begotten of them, and how canst thou recompense them and the things that they have done for thee? You can't repay your parents, man, for the thing that they've done for you, 29, fear Yahweh with all thy soul, and reverence his priests. And who are his priests? It's these Israelites, these hopeful elect, these men who are teaching this truth. Show reverence for the brothers, Love him that made thee with all thy strength, and forsake not his ministers. Right. Meaning obedience. We got to love this truth with all our strength, You really got to be in this truth, Otherwise, you don't want the spirit to jump off you. That's the most fearful thing in this truth, is to lose that spirit. Fear Yahweh and honor the priest, and give him his portion as it is commanded thee, the first fruits, the trespass offering, and the gift of the shoulders, and the sacrifice of sanctification, and the first fruits of the holy things. All right. And the first fruits deals with the elect, who are the chosen, who are the prophets, who are the ones who teach this truth. Verse 32, and stretch thine hand unto the poor, that thy blessing may be perfected. You see? So that's what we're doing by putting out these videos. We're stretching our hand out to the poor. Because those elect, that's who the poor is, We're looked at as poor in this world, right?